da 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 da
Yeah.
da 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 da
Yeah.
da 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 da
Yeah.
da 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 da
Yeah.
da 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 da
Yeah.
da da.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. That's the second time you're gonna hear that intro today. So far in this podcast, how are we doing, everyone? Everyone doing good in the crowd? Can we get some poggers in the chat? We're not live, but I just want to get a couple,
Yeah.
couple gecks, a couple, keks.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell us your favorite Gex song in the chat, in the comments.
All right, well, welcome everyone to the third episode of this wonderful podcast we have going on. Today we have a lot going on, but I have some drama to address regarding the last episode.
Ooh.
Now, Demit wasn't informed of this, but I was told that turns out when we were talking about the Converge album, we said it wrong. We called it Jane Doe's Converge instead of Converge's
Oh
Jane
no.
Doe, and we
Oh
just kept
no.
going with that. So I just want to apologize to all the fans out there.
To apologize here. No, this is not good. This is how are they going to take us seriously?
I said it was one of my favorite metal albums, and I was the one that said that. So, I think I'm very much in the wrong here. I gotta apologize. I'll be making my statement on Twitter later. Hope you guys can
Yes.
forgive me.
Yeah. Need some really apologize. Who called us out? Who?
One of our viewers.
Viewers, man.
um, but yeah, but in lighter news, Daft Punk broke up.
I don't think that's really light news or
It's not
anything.
light news. We're going even worse.
this is just this is not starting off in a happy podcast.
Yeah, I know. Well, Daft Punk, one of the greatest pop duos I think ever. Electronic duos as well broke up. They're done. We're not gonna get random access memories too. But instead like of like old music, it's gonna be like Gex music.
We're not getting like anything after. It's really upsetting. Like they should have like released something or something before they broke up. Like they haven't been doing like their last album was Random Access Memories. What is that, like 2013?
Yeah, that came out so long ago. I thought that the release of the news of like, oh, we're breaking up would come along with one last album and then break up.
But no, it's just no, they're done.
It's like, all right, we haven't been active for like over a decade, or well, a little less than a decade. See you guys later. We're making it
Uh,
official.
they as you know one guest I've been trying to, he won't be coming on yet, but as he would say, they went out in a blaze of glory, a very very long blaze of glory.
Yes, very true. I mean, the album Random Access Memories is so good. I mean, so good.
It is fantastic.
Yeah, and the song on their Instant Crush, which is probably the song that I listen to the most off that record, is a banger.
It is a classic. It's a certified classic. I think we can say that that song itself certified. It's a classic. If you haven't listened to it, then I guess you've been living under a rock.
Yeah, no, everything about it, everything about a lot of what Daft Punk did was great. Obviously, they have some stinkers here and there, but I think they've done enough bangers and to be kind of helmed as one of the greatest
The
of
low, yeah,
century.
the lowest like an album of Daft Punk would be is like if we were grading Daft Punk's papers, like let's say these albums are papers, they'd probably lowest they'd get is probably a C. Like that's about as low as they would, or a B. They like all of their albums are they don't have many, but probably their C albums would be like soundtracks because they're soundtracks.
Yeah, yeah, very true.
um, but yeah, so if you guys have never listened to Daft Punk, but you're listening to this podcast, go listen to Daft Punk and realize you'll never see them live ever in your life.
Ever, and you've missed out.
So did we, but well, I don't know. Did you ever see Daft Punk live?
I did not see Daft Punk live.
Eli wanted to see Daft Punk live. He was like telling me once they announce a tour, he's going.
Eli being a friend of ours.
Who one day, one day the main character will join.
Yes. But moral of the story, sad news, sad times. Daft Punk is now gone. Rest in
Yeah.
peace.
And because we're in a sad era, it's time to talk about a sad boy album.
Oh, yeah, okay, great.
You like that transition? You like that?
This is yeah, a good transition. Now we're talking about car seat headrest. This is where you say the
Teens.
album title.
Oh, Teens of Denial. You wanted me to say it?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Teens of Denial. All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you lead this since you like this
Uh,
album and you know more about this album.
so just as a quick a bit of background information about car seat headrests, I respect the shit out of Will Toledo. He started writing music in 2010, only then, and he just like put out like so many albums
Yeah, I
just by
saw that he
himself.
released like 12 albums.
It might be more than that because he just kept like he was in high school when he started releasing stuff, and like his first ever record that you can find that's on Bandcamp, um, he even puts under it saying, "I didn't really think people would listen to this. I kind of just like put it out there just because space."
Mm-hmm.
He's as a songwriter, this man is a madman. He just releases stuff and releases stuff. Some artists will like write a bunch of stuff but never release it. No, no, no. This man's just like something's gonna stick. And for the longest time, he did stuff by himself. And this is like the first full commercial and a band. First time like there's a full band released, and that is Teens of Denial, picked up by Matador Records. Uh, yeah. So first song is, we got a title track, an opening track. It's important. It sets the mood, and we have fill in the blank. So David, I want to know your thoughts as not a huge car seat fan. What did you think of
Yeah,
this?
I'm not the biggest car seat fan. I think their music is good and I think the stuff they do is good, but personally, it's not really my thing because I used to listen to a lot of rock music like that, but then I
Mhm.
got kind of bored of it and I start noticing things like, oh, this band just sounds like this band. So why don't I just listen to that band instead of this band? But there's some songs that Car Seat Headrest has made that makes me listen to them. So like a lot, but the thing is, most of those songs come off of Twin Fantasies.
Oh,
So,
that
so
is a really good album.
so
But
it's like I don't really listen to this album much, but there were some tracks off this that I liked. Starting with the first one, I thought it was good. Oh, good opener. You know, it was all right. It wasn't my favorite track off the album, but still not too bad.
yeah, for me personally, like just like I guess instrumentally, there's not too much like fancy stuff going on. You just have this guitar riff. It's catchy and everything. But the chorus lyrics is really what just just like the idea of just Will Toledo screaming, "You have no right to be depressed. You haven't tried hard enough to like it." That just that really
That
hurts. Like
hits you in the feels.
it hits me in the feels. The whole idea is like that the chorus is kind of like if you're a person like going through a bad time, this is like what people say to you and stuff. They just like tell you, yeah, you can't be depressed. And um, it is a bit sad boy, but the outro is very powerful with I've got a right to be depressed. I've given every inch I had to fight it. And so it's but it really I don't know, it feels like it's such a weird song that just feels like on one hand it's like a pump up anthem, but on the other hand it's like internal pain, but you still got to get ready for the day as it
Yeah,
was
I mean,
featured on NLHL's 18 soundtrack.
yeah, I mean, the what most of these songs are about are like really good messages, and I like the ideas and the kind of wittiness of each of the lyrics in most of the tracks. It's just sonically, the music is what I wish it was a little more pushing and more forward, like just change it up a little bit. And I think that's why I like a lot more experimental bands because
Yeah.
of how forward thinking they are and starting new movements and stuff. But still, I'm not saying that Kings of Denial is bad, nor fill in the blank.
Yeah, but you wanted something I could see like I feel like the fill in the blank like sonically, and obviously they still have a long time to grow as a band, but it would be
Oh yeah.
interesting to see what I feel like it has potential to be changed up sonically to create like probably a more experimental sound
Yeah.
instead of just like a because it does sound like a dad rock out song.
Yeah.
Like you
Uh,
could replace it with some Green Day lyrics and it would be a shitty song.
yeah. No, I see what you're saying. And then the next song, Vincent. Uh I have a couple of complaints about this one, though I did like one of the lyrics, some lyrics in this one. I think the intro is just a bit too long. Like,
Yes,
obviously, they changed things up to make it interesting, but I'm sitting there for so long waiting for something to happen and nothing happens.
you get that guitar riff. Like at first you're like, okay, this is
Yeah, it's like
cool.
build up, like, all right, let's go. And then 2 minutes pass, and I'm like, we're still here.
Why haven't we moved forward? Um,
Yeah,
yeah, the intro. I admit, like, when I listen to this album frequently, 'cause I listen to Car Seat frequently. This is in general a song I usually skip just because I don't feel like going through the intro. Like I know I'll enjoy it once I get like through the intro, but sometimes I don't have the patience for this.
yeah. There was a lyric in there that I really liked. It said something about how you should Wikipedia what depression is just so you know how I feel, something like that. What is it?
Are you talking about they got a portrait by Van Gogh on the Wikipedia page for clinical depression?
Well,
It,
maybe I just misheard that lyric completely wrong.
hold up, let me type in. I have the lyrics pulled up here. But
Because it had
even
something with Wikipedia for sure.
yeah, it, it's about Van Gogh.
Well, okay, never mind. Yeah. So basically, it was like, yeah, they got a portrait by Van Gogh on the Wikipedia page for clinical depression. Well, it helps to describe it. Just like, damn, dude.
Yeah,
I thought that was really funny.
yeah, he's got and even on the Genius lyrics, if you go on there, like Will Toledo himself like annotated some of this stuff to help like explain it, and it's really interesting. This song is just it's humorous and I really like after the intro. I just wish that intro wasn't so long.
Yeah, it's kind of it gets boring after a minute.
Yeah, but you know, lyrically, I think like people should. I think it would be interesting if like you want to go through this album and listen to it. Listen to the song like once, but listen to it with lyrics so you don't have to go back and listen to it again.
Yeah.
um, but the third song, this is one of my favorites. Destroyed by Hippie Powers.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting title. Why is this your favorite?
There is a line that really hits me that I always kind of scream out. Where it says, "What happened to that chubby little kid who smiled so much and loved the Beach Boys? What happened is I killed that fucker and I took his name and I got new glasses."
Damn,
And
that's
I don't
tough.
know, yeah, because like it really that hits you, and the idea is like Will Toledo is somebody that doesn't typically do drugs frequently, or I don't think he does, and this
A lot of these songs are like drugs with friends, drunk drivers.
he's it's him experiencing like peer pressure and things that you think are supposed to be cool, and then you try it and it's awful.
Hmm.
And this song perfectly like gets that idea like what is like the pre-chorus is always it's more than what you bargained for but it's a little less than what you paid for.
Mm.
And it's just that idea of like you're buying into this party life and you spent so much fucking money to get in, but this is more than what you want, but at the same time it's like it doesn't give you that satisfaction you wanted.
Interesting. Yeah, no. I try to listen out for the lyrics. I didn't go through little by little while reading along with the lyrics, but I feel like the stories behind them is still pretty forward thinking.
Yeah, it's
Um Yeah, and then with Joe gets kicked out of school for using drugs with friends. I thought this one was pretty good. Um, I thought like the beginning very nice soft acoustic part was really pleasant, and then when you get to the ending with the whole mantra of like what was it? Drugs are cool with friends or
Uh,
something. Was it?
drugs are better. Drugs are better with friends are better. Friends are better
Yeah,
with.
yeah. I thought that was like really smart. It just really funny too. Not just funny, but very
Yeah.
witty.
Yeah, no, it does have like a humorous element to it, just the way that, the lines transfer from one to the other and you realize you're in this cycle. And um it's sort of like as that like progression goes with that statement, it becomes more and more insane where I don't know, the song just really has like it this is again, it's basically like, teenagers growing up, one of my favorite lines also is from the second verse earlier where it says, and there was one guy there who kept asking me, how does it feel? And I didn't even know how to begin to answer that question. So I just said, I don't want to talk about it. And that was his basic experience with like, taking drugs. Like, you don't want to like talk about it or anything if I guess you've experienced it. We're not, disclaimer, we're not promoting drug use here. Right, David?
No, 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 no. I would never.
Nothing here. But yeah, it's just your typical just gives you a window into that idea of being that teen that's kind of being pressured into those activities. I'm not being an anti-drug or pro-drug person. It's just like, and I don't think the album is either. It's just talking about an experience itself.
Yeah. There's no. Yeah, yeah. That's very true. The next song I discussed this with you earlier when we were talking about
Yeah,
my original thoughts, but with this song, Not What I Needed, I I when I heard it, I was like, okay, this is just sounds like the Pixies. And that's what I felt like with a lot of this album. It's just that it sounds like Interpol, it sounds like the Pixies. If I wanted to listen to this, I could just listen to Interpol or the Pixies.
yeah. I definitely feel that with Not What I Need is not one of the best song. Sonically, it's probably one of the weakest, I'd say.
Yeah,
Line
because
wise.
the Pixies started like, and I understand people trying to replicate the Pixie sounds because they're kind of were the creators of that sound and the led them that whole movement. And trust me, I've made a couple tracks myself, and I've listened when I was younger, and I listened back, and I was like, this is just a Pixies riff off. So I understand, but it's 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 interesting that like, and it's specifically in that one spot towards the beginning where Will Toledo was like screaming, or he's screaming at the
Yeah,
whole thing, but it's he's screaming, but it sounds like he's like in another room.
yeah. That's definitely what it's uh sounds like. And it is a strange like thing just like hearing that in the middle.
I mean, I like it. I like it when the Pixies do it. It's just that that's the Pixies thing.
Yeah, it is the pick. And I think the problem is um I felt like it should have come back in the song rather
Mhm.
than just be like in there for a couple seconds and then it's gone. Go full Pixies.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you're
I
gonna
think it,
replicate it, at least make like an homage, where you're being very obvious with it.
yeah, and I think it could have used it because the chorus isn't that strong, and the only thing strong here is I don't know, the lyrics aren't that deep. I just think they're funny, like especially verse 2, the I've been waiting all my life. I've been waiting for some real good porn. That's just
Mm.
and then, he's talking something with meaning, something fulfilling. I'd like to make my shame count for something. And it doesn't feel depressing or sad. It just feels like completely I don't know, it's just really funny.
Yeah. Like I said, my thoughts on this out song. It's just meh, just a little mid. Then we got what's the next track here?
Drunk drivers.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. Drunk Drivers, Killer Whale. I like this one too. I thought this was one of the better tracks off the album. I thought the melody was really sweet and the backing stuff was just great.
Yeah, this is the track that like, kind of made it big with them. Really popular. It's I love the chorus where it's it doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to be like this. Just like that being shouted, especially like um what I like about the song is it's what I think it is an anti like drunk driving song, especially with you have that
Like
verse number
anti Killer Whale.
it says um it in the middle of verse 3 it says please listen to him, it's not too late, turn off the engine, get out of the car and start to walk. you know that
Yeah.
really, and even there's also like put it out of your mind and perish the thought, there's no comfort in responsibility, drunk drivers. So, and think that's an important thing. It's really hard to push like a anti-drunk driving song. That's something that I would not expect to be catchy or even good. um
Yeah, I think but he plays along with it really, really well. And just adding the little Killer Whale thing is really cool. Yeah, I thought this was um the most like its own sound song, whereas the other tracks on this album had like Interpol vibes or Pixie vibes. I felt like this one was had the soul of what Car Seat Headrest is.
it definitely did. It had that sweet synthesizer, that sweet singing. It was yeah, it was really nice. And then after that you get into this is probably another song I do like to scream out in the car. 1937 State Park. Um, what did you think of this one, David?
I don't I think I liked it a lot. Yeah. Or actually no. I'll think about the next one. I thought this was mid again.
Oh,
Like,
really?
yeah, I mean, I don't know, cause a lot of these songs I like, right? But
Yeah.
um, it's also like they're not something I'd seek out because I've heard it before, and
Mm,
it's not something very special to me at least. Whereas like
yeah.
with Drunk Drivers, Killer Whales, I heard it and I was like, oh, this is like this is its own sound. It has its own life to it, But the other songs just aren't for me.
Yeah. I liked I always liked the chorus for this one. I don't know. There's something about that guitar riff being so simple and then like kicking in, that same riff with all the instruments, like no one should ever have to look at themselves. Um and then I steer clear of graveyards, they are cliche in my death obsessed generation. Which
Pretty pretty edgy.
pretty edgy. And then even the chorus is edgy where it says, I didn't want you to hear that shake in my voice. My pain is my own. And when the cops shook me down, I cried walking home.
Like,
It's
yeah, again, pretty edgy.
very, very edgy.
Yeah. Then we got Unforgiving Girl, which I didn't really appreciate the fuck you in it.
The You didn't appreciate it?
No. Yeah, so for those that don't know, I think it's at the end of the song, right? Where he
Yeah.
just says fuck you. I didn't
Yeah.
appreciate that. I was like, all right, cool, the song's nice, and then all of a sudden I get fuck you.
I thought this song is probably it's decent. It's when I usually skip through. I don't know. And this is also where you get a different band member singing. Um it it's just not the best in my opinion.
Yeah, it's kind of like when Foo Fighters let the drummer sing.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, he's up there now. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then
uh,
we kind of get into the last couple songs now. I
yeah,
There's not much to talk about Unforgiving Girl. You know.
yeah. There's not much to say. But then we have Cosmic Hero. I like the horns in the beginning. I thought like when I heard it, it was pretty good. You know, a different change of pace from everything that I've heard before in the album. Where it's just like, oh, let's start off
Yeah,
with guitars, and now we got this nice, sweet horn section.
yeah. The horns are really quite beautiful. And then, you go into your guitar song, you start it, and then the chorus, like, the main sentiment that gets rammed into your head.
Yeah.
It's so edgy.
Yeah, it's a lot of this album is edge, you know, but not
it
too edge where it's like cringe, you know?
This is like, I feel like this is the perfect persona of like late high school, college, possibly your whole
Yeah,
adult life edge.
yeah, I mean, the album's called Teens of Denial for a reason.
That's true.
Yeah, now
And
we're coming up. Wait, what were you were gonna add something?
yeah, just the chorus line saying, "I will go to heaven, you won't go to heaven." That is some harsh words. And there's a lot of other backing tracks in here that's just saying "fuck you" over and
Yeah,
over.
yeah, yeah,
This song is just
yeah. And then we got my favorite song off the album, the Ballad of
yes,
Costa Concordia.
yes. This is a fantastic. It's a long song, but it deserves its length.
I thought it was great. There was a moment where they could have ended the song and I would have been happy, but then they just kept going and I was like, oh, well now it's just gonna get bad. But no, it just kept getting better and I was like, okay, I like this. I like the description of like, because you know the Costa Concordia was basically a boat that sank because of the captain being very negligent of what was going on around him. Um, but I thought of the way that he was describing, like, oh, I don't know, it's not my fault. I don't know how to ride a bike and all this stuff. I thought that was pretty. I thought that was really a great parallel to the actual story.
Yeah, I think the spoken word in here where it describes everything is just so good. I um I remember the first time I listened to this song, I must have been a junior or no, I must have been a senior in high school. Um I don't know why, man. When I heard the breakdown afterwards, I was like listening to it on the floor on the carpet and I just broke down crying. I don't even know.
Oh my God, bro, what's wrong with you? How dare you
It,
cry?
am I unmanly? Am I
Yes, let me assign these roles to you.
Oh man, just because I cried. Silly me, cover emotion.
I hate emotion.
Yeah. This
Um, but no, I liked it a lot. I thought that this song made the album along with Killer Whales, Drunk Drivers, Killer Whales. I thought these two were probably the ones where okay, I'll give these a like, add these to my liked songs on Spotify.
yeah. But
Um,
we got Connect the Dots still, which
yeah,
is
it's
for
meh.
it's forgettable. Right. After like you go through like such a long song. Even like Cosmic Hero is another like long I like Cosmic Hero and I like Ballad a lot. And then you get into this and you're like, I thought it's time for the end of the album.
Yeah, I only saw okay. Had they ended the album on the Ballad of the Costa Concordia, I would have. You'll hear my rating, but I probably would have given it a higher score because I thought these last two tracks are just. We could just talk about them together, to be honest with you, because the last track is Joe Goes to School, and this penultimate track is Connect the Dots, the saga of
Yeah.
Frank Sinatra. But I thought both those songs are just kind of so mid and like a little bit below mid. I thought that Joe Goes to School is such an anticlimactic ending.
And you see, for me, I think if Ballad flowed into Joe Goes to School, it would have been perfect. Um,
Not for me, because like you have albums like Pinkerton where they end with an acoustic track. So for example, Pinkerton, you have Butterfly in there. I thought that really added to it because just what I was describing was so raw. Whereas this, it was kind of like, oh, okay, we have another
mm,
song that's an acoustic track. Let's just keep going, I guess. But it didn't really add much. I felt as if you ended on Ballad of Costa Concordia, it would have been such a good ending.
the For me, I enjoy the Joe Goes to School ending because it perfectly describes that like teenager life crisis. The song is nice and short just to describe what it is. Like I saw a horse and it was me, and it describes you're personifying yourself as a horse, as that's the youth generally tend to like start to see who they are, and then it was just the horse. I couldn't tell if it was sad or not, and that's because often as a teenager, like if you're growing up in the situations that you are, a lot of people grew up where they're told they can't be sad, or they're not allowed to like understand their emotions, and people don't talk about it. And so you're ending the song of what many awkward teenagers or awkward people like end up feeling. So to me, this like is a perfect ending. Um, but that's like lyrically for me. I enjoy a nice. It's not like Pinkerton and all that, but to me, just a nice 1 minute little ending after the calm of this like very um sonically, it's just very much like rough rock until the end, and that's
Hmm.
what I needed personally. Personally,
Yeah, no, I got you.
yeah.
But yeah, so what do you give this album?
Me personally,
Mm,
I tend to give this one. It is true, I do prefer Twin Fantasy. That I'm not arguing. I just wanted to listen to this one again. uh, I think Twin Fantasy is much better. That's a really good album, but I still give this personally about an 8 out of 10.
interesting. I'd give this one a 7 out of 10. So I'm gonna go a little below you because
I,
like I said, I think
I
it's good.
respect that.
I don't think
I
it's a bad
respect 7 out
album.
of 10.
I think it's a good album. Just some of the tracks aren't as good as the other ones. It's not really pushing anything. Whereas with Twin Fantasies, I think that that one's definitely the better album. And I'd probably give. Oh, I wouldn't give my rating. I'm not gonna say my rating for it now just because we do it in the future. But I
Maybe we'll do it
definitely that
like
one would be a little higher up.
maybe we'll do it for which version of Twin Fantasy though.
I haven't. I don't remember which one I listened to. I'm gonna be frank with you.
There's an old version from 2011 that's very rough and indie lo-fi, and
Yeah.
not lo-fi like lo-fi hip hop beat.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know that's an interesting. Um, we should discuss that one day on that podcast.
Okay. But yeah. Overall, good album. Fine album. think it's good.
Yeah.
All right,
Hey.
so let's get to the next one. What do we have next?
Well,
JPEG Mafia's new EP.
yes, we were gonna talk about Black Dresses, but we're still digesting that album.
Yeah,
It's
I have yet to finish it. I've only listened to half of it, and so I'll only listen to the finish it up this week, and then we'll talk about that next week. But a little sneak peek so far. I'm on the sixth track, and I'm liking it a lot. But I'm not going to go into any more details.
yeah. But now it's time. We're finally talking about rap. We're doing it. It's a short rap EP, very very short, but nonetheless, I don't know how we'll rank EPs after we talk about this, but we'll see.
Yeah. So to give it the intro, talk
All
about
right.
it.
So JPEG Mafia, great rapper. He's been coming up on the scene. Uh, Early in his career, he had to escape being kind of compared to Death Grips. Um, and he's his own sound, he's his own character. And what he does is he just creates these really interesting beats, and usually he's very aggressive. But here we've got EP2. He's been releasing these tracks.
EB2 exclamation mark.
Yes, a follow-up to his EP exclamation mark. So he's kind of doing this thing right now, and some of these, just one of these songs has been out for a while. That's Last Dance. I remember it coming out.
Yeah, it
uh
came out over the summer, right?
yeah, yeah. And I thought it was going to be on EP exclamation mark, and then it wasn't, and I was confused. But then I found out why. It's like, aha, I
It
see
all
you.
makes sense.
So great rapper, and we could start with this first song, Last Dance. David, give us your thoughts.
Um, I really like this EP. I think it's pretty good. It's low. It's very lo-fi, right? Am I wrong in thinking of this? At least these first two tracks, they're pretty lo-fi, especially in the vocals. I think the first track, I think Last Dance is good, but there's some moments where the vocals just aren't super
Yeah,
like um how should I describe it? I don't want to say not audible, but it's very like obviously the autotune's heavy, and that's the autotune sounds great. I think the vocal melody sounds fine. It's just the way they're recorded or something
it's
about the
almost
recording is
like
a little off.
drowning. And
Yeah,
this is a very like, it's just such an interesting song, and
yeah,
there's a lot happening here.
Yeah, and then once you get into the second song, intro exclamation mark, the beat actually starts to completely drown out the vocals. Like I cannot even, I could barely hear the vocals. Probably midway through the intro, which is a weird place to put the intro as a second track off the EP, but still.
Yeah, and the intro is just a leading into "Fix Yourself," where it's
Yeah,
just like hearing like, "Whoa, I want to rub it, baby." That just, but
yeah,
what's nice about JPEG is talking about some. It's interesting. Like when you like look at the lyrics, like he's talking about some kind of aggressive words and stuff. Like he's not being like his lines are very lovable and like sweet. Like we're seeing a more sweeter side of JPEG sonically, especially like
hmm
the way he kind of is singing these raps now and not just screaming and yelling at them. And when I saw his interview, I remember hearing that when he's angry at people, if he's actually pissed at someone, he won't yell. He'll kind of just tell people directly. When he's yelling, he's just hyped up and,
he's ready
yeah.
to go.
So here we see kind of, it's just so weird. And like, reading these lyrics, it just, ah,
Yeah, I mean but though the beats off of every single track off this album, they're pretty fucking fire if you ask me.
it
I think
produced them.
the
And something that you go,
what
no, I was
happened?
saying you go, like,
Oh, I think our internet just wonked out for a second.
oh, shoot.
But what was I gonna say? Oh, I think the beats are so good on this album.
Hmm.
They're really, really good. And the only thing that I have of a critique is just like I said, the lo-fi bits are
Yeah.
a little bit too much at times, where it sounds almost not super well produced.
Yeah, it feels raw. You can tell it was uh JPEG producing it. What I do appreciate is that I remember hearing that he like I think he used no samples like musically wise,
Dang.
which is pretty cool. But
Yeah, it is.
and he made this album as a challenge. I was like reading. He's like trying to see how fast he can write music. And he wrote like apparently Last Dance was like 8 minutes long initially, and he just like cut back a lot of it and was like, "Where is the sweetest part? Where's the best part?"
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, then we get to so we have intro, last dance intro, then fix yourself, which like I said is my favorite song off the album, I think.
It's
I
fantastic.
I think that one's probably the best one, most well produced, and it really uses the lo-fi
For
sound to its advantage.
for me, it's the one after Celtic. I really like this one's For Us personally. I don't know. It
Oh,
just
well, let's talk about Celtic first.
yeah, Celtic. What did you think of Celtic?
Yeah, I think Celtic is it suffers from the same thing as I said before. It's just the vocals are just really well, not well. It's oh, I shouldn't say they're not well, but it's just really weirdly mixed.
Yeah, the beat for Celtic goes. I love the drums on this. I don't know why.
Yeah, they're really good.
It feels like, but I do like that. That JPEG Mafia is kind of creating what's it called? The Baltimore sound.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
very true.
respect to Baltimore. Sadly, you're not here yet in Baltimore, David.
I'll be there. But yeah, but the one thing I do appreciate also is that he's creating like a new sound. Not creating a new sound, but he's trying a new sound, you know. It's not something that like he's done before. He's trying to go for new things,
Yeah, he's
which is
really
a positive way of looking at the lo-fi aspect.
he's like pushing himself, especially like vocally. This is like
Yes,
a
yeah, cuz he's rapping on here, but he's also singing really well.
yeah, which excites me. I'm interested. I like that he's releasing them as EPs because it's kind of like I feel like we're gonna get a really good album after he like finishes up his little EP thing.
Yeah.
But
Okay, and then we got this one's for us. So you said you liked this one, right?
I like this one a lot.
You
Just
like
the way
this
that
one for us?
just the rap lines on here and just like the way JPEG is really speaking to you. Um, there's some really like I don't know. This just I like the
It's
lyric
bars.
bars are fantastic, and some of them are humorous, witty, like eating ass, feel like Pac-Man, rich and bitter, Black Batman.
That's pretty good. Yeah, I like this one too. Like, I think "Fix Yourself" is my favorite, but I think this was the close second.
Yeah, it's and then I know there's again his bars. I'm not gonna talk about them too much because I
It's
don't
very
want to.
obvious that they're gonna be good.
Yeah, they're really good lyrics here. It's hard to talk about it since there's so much in here. But if you just like listen to it, if you like rap, if you're a fan of it, and you like listening to rappers rap, but you don't want like a long ass song, that's what's nice about EP. Like, there's no song that goes over 3 minutes and 30 seconds. This is like a nice ah, I can enjoy this easy.
Mm.
um, what did you think of Panic Room?
Um, I think I felt the same way of it as Celtic.
Yeah,
It was okay. It was good. Beats. I keep saying the same thing over and over again because I feel like every song except for "Fix Yourself" and this one's for us, I felt the same way about.
I liked Feed Her a lot
Mm,
lyrically. That is that's where he talks about 4chan, isn't it? There's like
I think so.
I have to look. Hold up, let me
Oh,
check.
and then "Feed Her" I liked actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, I liked "Feed Her" a lot. Lyrically, like, and you were saying lyrically in both what it was kind of talking about. It's very oh god, I don't know how to describe it. It's just really good.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out where's the. I could have sworn 4chan line was somewhere.
There was
Did
a
I?
4chan line.
There is, and I'm trying to find out which track it was.
All right, we have 5 seconds. Five,
Oh, oh no,
4,
I'm
3,
I'm looking, bro.
2,
I'm looking.
1. All right,
I
you're
can't
done. We're
find it.
moving
Yeah,
on.
I can't. It was about man. I'm so upset I can't find it. I could have sworn I heard it because like he had this whole 4chan debacle. People tried to get him canceled earlier on 4chan because they didn't like his politics, and they did something really gross. You know about this, David?
What?
Like this was drama in the summer.
What about it? Tell me about it.
Um, might have been like I think it was the summer. Basically, people on 4chan plan to put a stain on JPEG's name. So somebody on Reddit um did a copy pasta of like a victim story claiming that JPEG like um raped this troll, and then like people looked on the account and found out, wait a minute, and like they started connecting the dots, and then this troll, once like he was starting to be found out, he just said a bunch of racial slurs, and people were like giving. It was just really gross. It was awful.
Yeah, yeah. Sounds like it. I didn't hear about this.
No, it's good that you didn't, because
Well, now I
his
do. Well, now I know. Thanks a lot.
you're welcome. But yeah, so JPEG, I think it's on this EP. He calls them out. I forget on which song. I thought it was this Feed Her, but maybe not.
Mm, cool. Yeah. Overall, I like the EP. I thought it was fun. Thought it was pretty good. As I said like 5 times before, the lo-fi bits were a little bit too much in certain sections. But overall, JPEG's fucking killing it right now. I'm super excited to see what he does.
So how do we want to rank an EP?
Ooh, this is a good question. We can just do it like a normal album.
All right, I might have to, even though I have a lot of praise to it, I might have to give it. I think I might give it a six,
Uh,
honestly.
yeah, I have a lot of praise for it, and I like it a lot, and there's a lot of good things about it. But I'm gonna have to give it a 6 as well.
Yeah, I feel like it's an album that's experimenting, and I like that it's experiment. Well, EP,
Yeah,
but it's like searching for its sound, and it's good that it is. It's good that JPEG's doing this.
it's just not fully developed yet.
Yeah, I feel like it's the potential.
Yeah,
It's like if Weezer just released High as a Kite.
yeah, yeah. Because if I get this at 8 or a 9, then what am I gonna give the really good album with this sound?
Exactly.
All right, but
So,
anyways, that's that. Now let's get to an even better track. Green Day
uh
dropped a song.
oh,
Here comes the shock.
here comes the Shah.
Oh my god, this song is so bad. Demit, you talked about how the intro showed promise, but even the intro didn't show any promise.
All right. To me, I heard the snare drum rolls and I heard these guitars going back and forth, and I was like, you know, I was thinking, okay, as long as because Father of All was awful, right?
Very bad.
Like everyone agrees this is an awful, awful album,
Very
and I was
bad.
like, so I heard this intro and I was like, okay, it's nothing too exciting, but hey, maybe Green Day can release something that sounds like music, or well, good music, something that I can like sing to or is catchy and not annoying. And then I was surprised. I didn't think it was possible to go any lower than Father of All. And then this track drops.
Yeah, it's just so boring, and there's nothing really redeemable about it because it's just the same thing over and over again, you know? It's just like this regular new pop rock or pop punk sound that Green Day's been like kind of like a factory just forcing out of their sound. And there's nowhere you can go with this to make it any more entertaining.
This even the album art just that's what disappointed me. I'm getting disappointed by Green Day's album art more and more because like
Yeah,
um if you know everyone's gone through the Green Day phases. 21st Century Breakdown is interesting. Uno Dos Tres experiments. But like Father of All, awful album art. Uno Dos Tres was pretty bad album art. And then the single art for Here Comes the Shock made me. It looks like they've accepted that they're just a band out. It
yeah, they're
looks
just
like
bad.
this looks like dollar bin junk you'd find, and you look at it. You don't even try to listen to that like little
Oh,
vinyl because
damn.
you like you look at the album art and you're like, nah, this shit sucks. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
listen to it.
Yeah, I also thought like the middle breakdown that they had was just so like gross. There's nothing good about it. Here comes the shock, and like that chorus. It's nothing. It's like I've heard them do something like that, but changing the lyrics around and changing the riffs around 100 times.
This is like they broke down Green Day to the bare essential in the
Yeah,
worst way. It's so I cannot I dislike this song so much, and it's because I want Green Day to release good music.
no, I don't. I'm done with Green Day.
You're done with Green Day?
I've given up on them. If they release a good album, I'll be shocked. Because you know, with Weezer, for example, Weezer had that streak of just bad albums. But they had bad albums, right? But they'd always come back every once in a while with like a decent song album. But
Eh,
now it's like, all right, it's been a while. We haven't gotten anything good since maybe American Idiot.
I'd say all right. 21st Century
Or
Breakdown.
yeah, sorry, I forgot when that come out. 21st Century Breakdown. Like that's the last decent thing they did.
They had like they had that one album in 2016, Revolution Radio, where it this is like it's still like Green Day at its bare. But what's admirable about that is like at least they just copied American Idiot's sound and just like did it again, which isn't bad. Like American Idiot's a great album. It's just not exciting like to do it
Yeah,
again. But
yeah, yeah. Like Weezer, everything will be all right in the end. The White Album, OK Human, Pinkerton, Blue Album, all their five greatest albums have something different about each one. And it's like a big difference. Obviously, each one has that Weezer feel, but
mm,
they're like difference in sounds. Of Pinkerton having that very lo-fi thing. Everything will be all right in the end. Having what is different about that album?
uh it kind
How
of
do you
feels
describe
more
it?
like a hard rock album.
There we go.
But
Yeah, that's how I describe it too.
what
And then
what might happen though, in my opinion, with Weezer, this is just me speculating because Weezer's on a streak right now, and the singles for Van Weezer, I was re-listening to it. I was like, damn, this could be another good album. I'd
I
be
don't know,
shocked.
man. I don't know, man. I'm not super excited for Van
I want
Weezer.
a seven. Like if I can call Van Weezer a seven, I'll be happy.
I don't know, man. We'll see. But anyways, Here Comes the Shock, Green Day, bad.
Awful.
0.5 out of 5.
0.5. Yeah, you know
Yeah,
what? Yeah,
I couldn't listen to it again.
I get. I can't go as low to put it at a zero. Just because I don't know. I just don't feel the full zero effect to it.
Yeah.
I feel like
If anything, I'd give it a 1 even because it's just Green Day. It's like, oh, here's a old Green Day song, copy paste, new Green Day song.
it.
Like, but I give it a point 0.5 just because it's so bland.
It. uh, It's so weird to me that a band can go backwards.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. It sucks.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Then we
let's get
got Kero
Kero.
Kero Bonito coming out
Yes,
with a
we
new
do.
song. The Princess and the Clock.
Yeah. So, what did you think of this single? Caro announced a new EP that was slightly all right. I was only disappointed that she announced an EP. I kind of want an album right now.
Yeah, I did too.
But
But here are my thoughts. I liked it a lot. I liked it so much.
it is a good song.
It's very, very good. The techno parts of it, like the computer music, it's so nice. And then obviously the story that's kind of childish story that's being told goes so well with this Kero Kero's vocals and stuff.
Caro does it. She's doing the thing. She's doing her thing, and I like it.
Yeah.
I like
And
her thing.
it's very atmospheric too. The whole song is just super,
Oh,
it's a vibe.
it is. I am happy Caro released this song. I am slightly disappointed that it's going to be only an EP, and that probably means on Genius it shows that the track list is only going to be 3 songs. So
Oh
that
god
is
damn it.
I know, but her last EP I listened to like Civilization One. It's a very good EP. It's 3 songs and it's very
Mhm.
good. But Caro, can you just like drop an
Just
album?
just drop another album. Come on.
How many years has it been? It's about to be 3 years. That's too long.
Come on, just give us another album. This track was so so good. Give us another album.
Just do it. Like, and what worries me, there's only one thing that worries me because I'm enjoying these Caro songs. Its Bug Snacks was also great. Um, but I'm worried that she's gonna release all these EP and then the album. We're not gonna get like a new album after the EPs. I think we're just gonna get like a package that says, this is all the EPs put together.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be good, obviously, but I want the excitement of not knowing what songs there are.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, like I said, this song is super good. I was hoping for an album too, but instead we got an EP, which I'm not saying I'm not excited for, but I'm super excited for it. Um Song's so good, so good. I listened to it and I was jumping around, doing my thing. There's nothing about this song I don't like. Obviously, it might not be my favorite Carol Carol song, to be honest with you.
No,
Uh, but it's still super good.
yeah,
Uh, yeah. What do you have anything else to say about it?
I listen to it. It's like if there's a viewer listening right now and you haven't heard the new Caro song, listen to it, man. She
Give it
is
a try.
fantastic. Probably, yeah. I'll give it about I don't know what do you want to give it?
I'll give it a 4.5
4.5
out
sounds
of
very
5.
reasonable
Yeah.
to me. I feel like
Yeah, because I
5 has
said
to be
not my
groundbreaking.
favorite. 5 has to be Flamingo.
Yeah, uh, yeah. I'm hoping, but yeah. Now we have as you know, our viewers want to know. So obviously, viewers that listen to the Black Dresses album already, thank you for doing that. But I promise we're gonna get to it next week. Um,
Oh, no, 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 wait. Before we get to my suggestion for next week, there was new other news I just remembered. So this is something I'm super, super hyped for. I can't tell you how hyped I am for this.
mm,
Bruno Mars, Anderson Paak, An
oh
Evening
yeah,
with Silk Sonic with special guest host Bootsy Collins. I'm so excited for this. You know
yes.
what this is?
No.
You don't know?
No, I've like heard, I've seen the thing, but I'm confused of what this is.
So
Please
Bruno Mars and
explain.
Anderson .Paak are making an album together.
Oh, it's a whole album.
It's a whole album together.
I
It's called Silk Sonic. Like the thing is called Silk Sonic, and I'm so excited for it.
oh, I thought it was just a song, but now that's an album.
No,
Okay, this is gonna
we
be a
actually,
classic, man.
yeah. So the first song off the album releases, I think, the 5th of March. So we'll be talking about it next week.
Oh man.
Um, but I'm excited for this. I have high expectations for this album. So we'll see what the sound's gonna be for us this Friday because we're recording on Sunday. But we'll see what it is on March 5th. I'm
Yeah.
hyped.
Um, Gojira also has a new record coming out
Oh
soon.
yeah, Gojira they released a single, which I thought was really really good. I thought the single before that was a little but we'll talk more about that once the album comes out because I feel like with this,
We need the
because
context.
with the context and like we got one track that was mid, one track that was good. I think it's better that we talk about it all, um, together.
Yes. But now it is time for you to recommend. As you know, we've been doing. I guess we're gonna call it like before the 2020s uh
Yeah, yeah,
album
yeah. That
recommendation.
that sounds good to me. Um, now, okay, I'm gonna recommend an album.
Okay.
You might not be happy with me with this album that I'm gonna suggest,
Oh boy.
but the thing is that this album is, as I said before, the precursor to everything that is Gex and hyperpop.
Oh god. I know what this is.
So the album that I'm gonna suggest, it's 10 songs,
Oh
27
boy.
minutes. It's My Teenage Dream Ended by Farrah Abraham.
Woo.
Now, we'll get more into this next week. I've listened to this album before. You're gonna think it's weird, but trust me, this is like Gex basically. Before this is the album that Farrah
Proto
Abraham
Gex.
made. No, this is the album Farrah Abraham made, and she did. I don't think she tried to make it good, but ended up coming good. As bad as some people might think it is, I promise you, it's just like Gex. Hey guys, David from the future here. Just wanted to clarify some things. So for next week, we're going to be talking about My Teenage Dream Ended, but not the 2016 version. We're going to be listening to a 2012 version. I completely forgot that there are two versions of this album with some different songs on them as well. It's not even like a remix or a remaster. It's just completely different songs. So make sure you listen to the 2012 version. That's the one we're going to be focusing on. All right, back to the show.
It's a Proto Gex, as they call it.
Yes,
Proto is
yes.
before, right?
Not saying that every song on this album is a banger, but we'll get more into it next week.
Oh boy, you're gonna. I guess that has been not your grandma's playlist
Podcast.
podcast.
This is it. This is yeah. So if you guys want to hear any us talk about anything in particular, put it in the comments. But
Yeah.
not. But yeah, that's been it. These are scores. That's listened to My Teenage Dream Ended by Farrah Abraham, and then we'll talk about it. All right, then we'll see y'all later.
Adios.
All right.